The heroes have placed their fallen heroine in good hands for the time being. Tulok spent some time trying to better understand the strange item left behind by Volok, charging its power with the light of the sun. Perhaps the item that aided in the death of their friend will do its part in taking the revenge they so crave. But such a valuable thing is easily lost, as the heroes and their new companion would soon find out. They returned to the site of the Velstrak, draped in rusted chains, and made a vain attempt to retrieve the whip they had left behind so long ago. But they were soundly outmatched on the creature's home turf, and while the whip was indeed retrieved, Volok's die was used and showed its impressive power, but left behind as the heroes sounded retreat against the slashing of the chains.
Hey there, creatures and denizens of the North. We have a favor to ask of you. We want you to go out there and tell one friend about our shows. Word of mouth is so important for a grassroots network like ours, and each and every one of you can help a new listener find us just by mentioning one of our shows to a friend, a DM, or some rando in the streets that looks chill. We'd also like to remind you that we've got a free public Discord where some of our most dedicated fans hang out at unchartednorth.com/Discord. We'd love to hear from you. The good, the bad, and the ugly. Bring it on. And if you really like what we do, you can help us create these shows and get some cool other rewards while doing it at patreon.com/unchartednorth. That's it. Enjoy the show, baby!
Happy almost anniversary.
Who, me?
To all of us. This is what, probably dropping 2 days before we launched this thing 2 years ago? 2 years ago? That's crazy talk.
How time flies.
Time flies like an arrow,
really 2
but
years?
fruit flies like a banana. Burn.
Oh, Dunk, you
Oh,
always
boy.
got one in the holster, don't you? There's always one in the chamber. It's been quite a ride, and it brings something to mind. Have you ever quickly embarked on something that you wanted to nope out of really quickly?
Fucking rude. And no, I commit to everything.
Is that so? Is
Every
that
time
so?
I've said I'd go to a party
Yep.
or to the beach.
You never really meant it, did you? You just never meant it. Not in your heart of hearts.
Sometimes I do. Sometimes I think, not the beach. I've never meant that. But like, a party, sometimes I think I can handle it. The idea of choosing to get sand everywhere just boggles my mind.
Yep.
I can't say I hate the beach, but I do not necessarily overly enjoy it. Like I'm okay with not going to it. I don't miss it at all, ever.
Oh, God,
But-
I spent 8 hours at the beach on Sunday.
Gross. But there is something about being in the water. I'm a terrible swimmer, but I do like being in the water. If I nope out of anything, it is waves and currents. They scare the shit out of me.
Rightfully so.
But I do like the water.
Just remember, if you ever get taken by a current, don't fight it.
Just let it
fight
take you
It
to
will
sea.
win.
Don't fight it. Just
Yeah.
chill.
Just
Well, you're better saving your energy for when you get to sea than
Yeah.
fighting a current.
Then
Yeah.
you're just fighting off.
I mean, I don't know if that's
albatrosses and stuff.
actual advice, but that's what I would do.
It sounds sensible to me.
Listeners, if you haven't figured this out already, 2 years in, clearly we tape these. Tape. Oh, God, now I'm saying it. Clearly we record these.
We're just talking about taping shit off mic.
Yeah. Clearly we record these quite a bit in advance because it is still summertime. And
Yeah,
I am
Scott did not spend
enjoying
8 hours at the beach in October here in Canada land.
See, I can get behind
Did not
that.
have-
That actually
Yeah,
doesn't
fall
sound
is
too bad.
That's the one
Thick-packed
time you get
sand,
James there.
nobody's there.
Oh, that's so good. But in all seriousness, I actually am curious. Have you ever like been a part of something that you did quickly nope out of? Have you ever like or like you wish you had and there was some regret? Is anything come to mind?
I've got one that is like my
Half the
only
jobs I've
memory
ever
of going to Disney World as a kid. Like I was like 6 years old,
Oh, yeah.
and at the time there was an experience where like the alien from Alien and Aliens and Alien Cubes.
Mhm.
I know exactly what
Yeah,
you're
there's like a
talking about.
ride where the
4D thing where it blows
Yeah,
in the back. Of
exactly.
Your neck. I
Yeah,
did
there's
that.
the alien like busts out of this tube. It's like this mock kind of teleporting the alien into the room, and then the alien free, and like there's like hot mist that goes on the back of your neck and lights and all kinds of crazy shit.
Whoa.
So I was like 6 years old, and I went on this ride. It was totally fine. Like went with my whole family. We were like well at the back of the ride. It was scary. It was exhilarating. I was like, Dad, I want to go on this ride again. And the next time we were like front row center. I was like, fuck yeah, let's do this, buddy. And then the scenario plays out, and then shit started going wrong. And then the lights were like really bright, and the steam was like really down the back of your neck, and I fucking lost it. Like, I can only say it was bad enough that the ride attendant had to like come up and, you know, get me out of the ride and shuffle me out of the place mid-ride. So it was that bad. But yeah, that's basically my
Wow,
only memory of
amazing.
Disney World. And I have yet to face an alien and not run away since.
Disney World's youngest recorded cardiac arrest. Duncan Forbes, everyone.
I screamed during that, and I mean like screamed. Probably the only time in my life where I've let out like a shrill of proper terror that was so high pitched. My dad thought it was my sister. I was 13 and already through puberty.
Nice.
That's how much.
I'm just
that shit
imagining like a
scared me.
13-year-old
Amazing.
bearded James there screaming his lungs out.
I had the preteen mustache pretty hard.
Nice.
Good Lord.
I had a fanny pack with my Game Boy in it. Yeah.
So not much has changed.
What a sight. Yeah, basically.
Not really. No, a little more beard, little less fanny pack.
That's where you're missing out.
Infinitely more Game Boy.
Infinitely more Game Boy.
That reminds me, when I was a kid, we went to like an old schoolhouse in Victoria, and it was during Halloween, and they did kind of like a ghost tour of it and its history. And we were all just in kind of the bottom schoolroom area. And then a guy started coming down with his boots really heavy. And he was like the second ghost we were going to experience. And the first one was this really nice woman. And then like, she's like, oh no, he's coming. And then like, bang, bang, bang. And same thing. I just started like screaming and crying and freaking out. And I had to be escorted out while they went on for the rest of the trip. And that was last week. So I don't know how old I was. I was pretty young. Anyways, it was horrifying.
That's funny.
I believe it.
Yeah, so they gave me an apple and I stood outside.
It works with you every time, though. So.
I don't have any ones that are scary like you guys have all thought of. But I did have this moment when I was younger, in my like early mid-20s, I guess, and I had some friends through another friend who had this guy who wanted to give everyone some sort of presentation about some sort of thing in which you could make easy money on. And I remember distinctly hearing about it and be like, you should come. It sounds interesting. And I was like, I don't know. I don't really like the sound of that cursory description already. And For some reason, my friends at the time thought the reasonable, convincing thing to tell me was that this guy's start of his pitch is to explain why it's not a pyramid scheme.
Ooh.
And to me, that was like a double
Yeah.
red flag. And they were like, no, but it's not. And he'll explain why. And I was like, no, I'm not doing this. I don't care. They're like, well, you should always just give it a listen and then decide. I was like, no, I'm not doing it. I'm noping out right now. And I was the only one when like I was hanging out with them at someone's apartment, and then this guy walked in with like Bristol board and the stand and everything. And I was like, okay, that's my cue. I'm gone. They're like, you're seriously leaving? And I was like, yep, I'm not doing this. I noped out. And I heard some cursory talk about it shortly after, but it was actually kind of interesting. It was neat. And 1 week later, I never heard about it again.
Well, at least they got out quick.
Yeah. And I was just like,
Any pitch that starts with "This is not a pyramid scheme."
I wonder what that Sam Bankman-Fried is doing now.
yeah. So that's the only one that really comes to mind that I noped out. It was like, and I just like called it early. I was like, this something rubs me wrong here. I'm not doing it. And I even had like one of those friends had like $500 set aside, like and this was their second pitch meeting they were going to, and they were all for it. And I was like, no, that's just dangerous. I'm not doing it. I have no idea if they lost that 500 or not.
Yeah. Do you remember what the product was?
I don't remember at all. This pops into my head once in a while, and it cracks me up. I'm going home, as of this recording, I'm going home for a visit fairly shortly. And if I remember, I'm going to ask one of those friends, see if they remember. And if there's any updates on it, maybe I'll bring them back. We'll see what happens. But I forget about it quite
probably
often.
turned into crypto.
Probably.
So there's this one financial show I watch on YouTube, and one of the things she always compares is Joe Rogan is Gwyneth Paltrow for men, and crypto is multi-level marketing schemes for men.
Yep, 100%.
That's accurate.
So
I thought it was really funny. I mean, she was specifically talking about NFTs at the time, not cryptocurrency.
oh, sure.
But,
Yeah.
one is kind of evolved into the other. Yeah. It's right up there with selling a download-only game in a box.
Yeah. Well, regardless.
Hey, man, I lost a
happy
lot of money
anniversary,
on those
everyone.
pyramid schemes of crypto.
I hear you, dude.
Yeah.
Actually,
And for some reason,
Yeah,
I haven't sold, so
I
I
lost
haven't
a lot
lost
of money
anything.
on BlackBerry, which is
Speaking of foolhardy dreams,
yeah, exactly. You managed to fall for endeavoring in this with us. So you haven't learned too many lessons. But also
I'm a fool.
let's get to the game, because speaking of noping out, you had to nope out pretty hard very recently.
Oh boy.
we had to nope out at the appropriate degree, Barn.
Oh, I mean, I still don't quite understand why you went after this creature. The only justification I remember is that you wanted the whip back. And this is a really funny scenario, in my opinion. I was talking to a friend of actually my James and Scott and friend of the show, Michael Bernard, about this scenario, and like how you already fought one of these Velstrax, and this one, and the other one was like a fight. It was a kind of a tough fight, but you got through it. And this one obliterated you. And I'm like, sitting to think about it, I was like, why was that the case? You're actually a reasonable level for this encounter, but the environment that it's in compared to the other one, like you waltzed into its home and were being attacked at all sides. It had full advantage on you, and you did not go out of your way to recall knowledge, even for what you previously encountered. And you went in blind and with a bit of hubris, if you don't mind me saying, and it really bit you on the arse.
If I can say, I was more embarrassed leaving this fight than I was leaving that haunted schoolhouse.
Yeah,
And no one gave me an apple.
and we still won't.
Haunted schoolhouse.
My story from 5 minutes ago.
Oh,
This
Jesus Christ.
Freeman, you're such a good listener.
This was
How
more
to tell if your game master listens to
I'm
it.
literally going like, where's a haunted schoolhouse in this adventure? When did we do that?
call the callback. I'm just trying to say I was embarrassed.
Yeah, and for the record, we attempted this because we wanted the completionist trophy to get this hallway to the north here.
Right.
Not because we needed the whip was a nice a cherry on top.
Possible
but it's not,
bonus,
it wasn't
yeah.
our initial destination.
Yeah. Did not work out for you in the end. let's talk about something real quick. I fucked something small up. I'll explain in a second. Someone did fail a saving throw during that fight, but I can't remember who it was, and I couldn't find it in our combat log. But regardless, I need everyone to roll a fortitude saving throw anyway, because I was not prompting them the way I should have. So everyone toss one of those at me real quick.
Middling, 23.
Heidling, 30.
Kind of matching with my rolls from last game, 17.
Okay.
You failed.
I hope it was you who failed before, Izori, because it is you who failed now. Okay.
I'm pretty sure it was.
That's all I
Yeah.
need to know for
Oh.
now.
Yeah, I didn't roll higher than like a 4 last time we played.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, it was a bad introduction for Izori. Not performing at her peak, and you all walked in. This is her introduction to the dungeon. Oh, we know what we're doing. Let's go fight this thing. Not. So maybe her own embarrassment is offset by how poorly you all performed. But the other thing I wanted to cover is that I kind of fucked up when you rolled your new item here, the dimensional incarnate enclosure, Volix die as it's called. It's a very small fuck up though. When you rolled that, the Scalathrax came out of it. It was summoned from it. And it applied poison to all of your weapons. That was a slight mistake on my end. It actually should have just been to one person's weapons. Didn't really come into play, so not a big
Still
deal.
hero points.
However, what I want to do now is, now that you've used it once, I want to reveal a little more information about this item to you.
Well, that's great because it's gone anyways.
Well, it is laying at the feet of this creature. But effectively, I've revealed some stuff on the item itself if everyone wants to look at it in Tulok's inventory. But what you now are able to discern is that this thing functions using what's called an incarnate trait. The incarnate trait is applied to certain spells, and it has a very particular function. It basically conjures a minion, or conjures a creature, but it does not have the minion or summoned trait. It basically, as soon as it arrives, it has what's called an arrival action. It takes that action, stepping or striding or whatever it needs to make it happen. And then on the next turn, at the end of the caster or the roller's next turn, it has a depart action. The creature can't be touched, can't be damaged. It can't take any other actions beyond this, and everyone can walk through it. It's effectively not an illusion, but it's this weird sort of incarnate, not a quite physical form kind of creature. You can see the rules in the item itself. But anytime you roll this die and it rolls face up on one of the clear facets, the one that it's actually like you can see the silhouette of the creature more clearly. That's what will happen with whatever creature is on that facet. It'll pop up, it will do something on its arrival, and do something on its departure. And whoever is rolling it, it will be a benefit to them and their party. So you do not, if it lands on the Scalathrax again, for example, you do not have to worry at all about that affecting you negatively. It is on your side. It's a very powerful item in that way. However, it's also got this ability called Toy with Fate, where you can change the side of the die it lands on. And now that it's a reaction, and it comes into play if you need to sort of slowly discover what these facets do and how they operate. And the more you reveal, the more power you have on what effect it's going to have in the instance. Now, Toy with Fate has a downside to it. It's a fortune effect, but has a misfortune effect attached to it. So the next time you roll it, Fate will balance itself out and you go the opposite direction. So it won't be as good for you. But that's essentially it. Any questions?
Can we just roll this thing willy-nilly?
No, it has a charge. So it needs to be recharged in the sunlight. So once you use it once, as you have right now, it needs to be charged in sunlight again for, I think it's
1 hour. Okay, yeah, I see it.
Yeah, so it's not willy-nilly. If it was willy-nilly, it'd be unbelievably powerful.
Okay, but, a reasonable amount of willies nilly.
Right. I mean, so like every time you go to town or go back to the town or whatever, like that's an opportunity to make sure it's recharged. But this is the sort of thing that you'll probably want to use fairly often because there's little to no downside.
We need that thing back then.
Yeah. Especially given this.
Can you determine how far we are away from Otari? Like if it's more than a mile?
Oh no, you're not more than a mile. No, if you were to guess, average like 30 to 40 feet down per level at most.
I mean, from Otari. Like, do you think we're more than a mile from
Oh,
Otari?
from Otari. What is it? I think a half-hour walk along the trail from the edge of Otari. So, you tell me. I'm bad with distances.
Probably.
Yeah. Actually, let me check the
The
Otari
average
map.
human walks about a kilometer every 8 minutes.
Okay, let me check the Otari map because it is set up for measurements in that regard.
I'd like
I
to
believe
think we're above
as
average.
accurately as it can be, anyway. Let's see. The lighthouse, and measuring to the edge to the stone ring pond is about 1,500 feet. However, that translates to a mile or a kilometer.
I'll do the math.
Thank you.
That is 0.28 of miles.
Hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's not that far.
No, that's not that far.
Bearing in mind that it's along the Gaunt Trail, so it's like an overgrown, twisting, winding trail through the forest and a swamp. So that's probably why it's half an hour.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm just looking at Dimension Door 5th level here.
Oh, yeah. Fair enough.
Planning for my future.
In any case, any questions on that item? Because it's pretty neat, and there's more to be discovered as you go.
What could we do to make this thing returning?
Afraid that's not much of an option. However, what I will say, now that you've sort of stepped away from this creature and it has remained back. When you attacked it, it was cowering at some of the attacks that you threw at it near the end there, gaining the frightened condition, and it is huddled in its corner with the whip in hand, and is not pursuing, but that die is definitely sitting near its feet. So how you want to retrieve that, how you go about it, is up to you.
Okay, so at the end of last ep, Tulok had run out. Rory and Krucka are currently on their way out.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that Tulok would have run out into the circular room and just kind of takes a knee as the other two follow him. And he's breathing
circular room's
heavily.
like the foot of the lighthouse that's still going down and down and down.
Yes.
Yeah.
So he takes a knee and just kind of waits for them to come behind him.
I mean, depending on how many spells I want to blow, I could silence and make somebody invisible.
Yeah, I mean, we'll deal with that in a minute.
Yeah, we're gonna need to not be almost dead, I think.
I feel like Scott's leading towards a roleplay moment here. Let's regather and discuss, perhaps.
Yeah, Krucka comes barreling out after him.
Tulok peers up at Rory and Krucka.
Izori.
Oh! Did I say Rory?
Looks up to
twice
the
there?
heavens, then over
Yep.
to Izori.
I wasn't going to correct you the first time.
Okay. Not a god. Not a god. Not a god.
Not yet.
Tulok looks up at Azori and Krucka and says, I thought that would go differently. Azori, I'm sorry, this is not what it's... Well, I mean, this is what it's been like the whole time. It has been hard. But I honestly thought we could have taken that creature. Perhaps we've gotten a little big for our britches and need to settle down a little bit. I'm sorry.
You have nothing to apologize for, Sage Tulok. There is an air of familiarity to defeat. We now know how not to approach this creature, so perhaps the next time we decide to bore it, we prepare a little better.
There is nowhere to go but up.
And down, Krucka, don't forget.
Yes, horizontally as well. I was being reductive.
Yes, things were different with Gilda. She could just take so many attacks, and her shield was strong and her will was stronger. It'll just be different without her, and I must remember that. And fuck you, Barn.
Great delay on that.
I'm going to do a medicine check on myself, DC 20. 21. There we go.
Heyo!
Very nice.
20 HP back.
Oh, wicked. I just want to throw out there too. This is kind of random, but Scoot, you know you can carry a shield and raise it sometimes, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool. Good to know.
I'm just always trying to find ways to convince you to hold something in Tulok's hands for once. It's just not happening.
I will hold when I want to hold, sir. These are all character decisions.
Right. Definitely not shortcomings in Scott's part. Definitely.
Tulok, although handsome and lithe, is not very strong. He doesn't like to hold things more than once.
he's got delicate musician's hands.
He's an artist. It's okay.
His delicate hands are in his fucking character description.
His hands are made for rolling bones, not raising shields.
Exactly.
Kruk is going to attempt a nature check on himself. DC 15. 19. Good call, Kruka.
Good call. Duncan's learned this lesson too many times.
Oh, yeah.
Now, just to get to the bottom of things here, Kruka has the
Has the stone, so yeah.
stone.
Every minute we're tacking on an extra HP. This is still going to be a while, because goddamn.
And Azori has her own too, right?
Yeah, so I've already given her the 20 back and then another
Okay.
10 for the 10 minutes the first treat wounds takes. She'll do one on Tulok.
Please.
I guess DC 20 again.
He casts guidance.
That would be a 20 exactly then.
Woo!
Nice.
That's 26 back.
I like
Or
that.
23, sorry. 23.
I like that shit.
Kruka's going to do another one on himself. DC 15.
Do you have fast healing or continual recovery? Because it's an hour downtime in between.
I mean, I could use the hour anyways, because he's down a further 78, and that's after the first round of healing. Or a 70, sorry. Minuscule 70.
Right. Yeah, I mean, we're going to have to take time regardless. Even if I were to use my compass, it's still going to be a while. 78 is a lot of HP to heal when we don't have gilded alternate between treat wounds and lay on hands.
Yeah.
And I'm still half down too. I still
Don't
need
you have a?
36.
Don't you also have a wand of heal somewhere?
Smart?
You
That'll
can just take the hour, you know.
Yeah,
You are
I'm
taking
fine
an hour, right? I'm doing the thing here, so let's call it.
Yeah, let's call it an hour.
What is your bonus to nature, Kruka?
11.
Okay. Mine's only 9, so I can aid you in treating wounds on Tulok. if
Okay.
you want.
Yeah, if I
Okay.
if I treat wounds on Tulok with the hour, that brings me back up to full with the compass. So.
Yeah, me too.
Sweet.
Okay, I'll only need 15 minutes or 16 minutes with the compass, so Tulok, you can take it for the other 45 minutes, or the other 44 minutes, and that should bring you pretty close.
I use trick magic item, and then I succeed.
Okay. you
Using,
do that
and
too.
then I use the wand, and we all get 7.
Nice.
Okay, so we're all healed back up.
And now you can't use it for the rest of the day, unless you try to overcharge it.
While we're waiting that hour, can I do a recall knowledge on this spellstruck?
Yes, you can. That would be religion,
Anything else?
applicable lore.
Sailing?
No.
Yeah. No, I'm not going to roll on it. Religion is my only 0. I'm good.
Unless you've sailed the high seas of, I think, the Shadow Plane, you're out of luck.
I didn't write it into my backstory, but I can take 2 minutes now and do so.
Tulok rolls a 20.
The only thing Tulok knows is what he encountered before. Them chains be deadly, can be controlled by this creature wherever they're at. Has a terrifying gaze that makes you all frightened. And is weak to good and silver, immune to cold, and most importantly has regeneration. So without the good and silver, you're not going to kill this thing at all.
I don't have anything that does good. That's
Yeah, I've got the silver hatchet, and that's about it.
I only do bad.
Well, the silver hatchet could work.
Yeah, the silver hatchet could work, and I should.
But I mean, is the goal to kill this thing? Like,
Yeah, we might just want to
the deal
get
here?
the die back. That would be.
I can also just send my familiar in after the die and see what happens.
Yep, you sure can.
Or I've got, like I said, I've got invisibility, I've got silence, I've got blur prepared. So there's options there if we want to go that way.
Maybe do a drive-by snatching on it and keep going.
The classic drive-by snatching, man.
Yep. Tale as old as time itself.
You tell me. I'll be here when you have a plan.
Yeah, you go get a coffee, Baron. We got some thinking to do.
I'll just send in Sammy. I've got the face familiar reaction. It's got an 11 stealth. I mean, it's a cat. It should be able to pick up a dice.
Yeah, I mean, it's not just a tiny die. It's like a handheld thing. It's like pretty sizable. Not like huge or anything, but like the size of an apple, I would say.
So it could fit in its mouth.
A real solid big apple.
Do we remember if it's magnetic?
That's a good question. It does have metal seams between each facet, and the rest is like crystal or glass.
I mean, it's a cat. It'll just playfully bat the thing away towards us. That's all we need.
Just send Sammy in to bend it like Beckham.
There's a current reference for you. We haven't really encountered familiars on this podcast yet, so I have no idea what's about to happen.
Yeah, they're most powerful in a witch's hands, but James wants nothing to do with it practically.
It's just
They
another
can be
character.
extremely useful.
Yeah.
They have lots of really cool little sub abilities, but they are non-combatants.
Okay. I mean, we could try just stealthing in there. And then if that doesn't work, go invisible.
That seems like a bad time to start the invisibility process.
I mean, whenever.
Well, I've only got one casting of it, so it's...
Shrek has actually got decent
You know.
stealth. Okay, let's do this. Let's get all nimbly bimbly like the cat.
All right, who's going invisible and stealthing in, and when, and how? We got the why.
I selflessly nominate Sage Tulok.
Yeah, okay.
He is always trying to avoid notice.
And his stealth
This is your
is
time
the
to
best.
shine,
His
bud.
stealth is better than my cat's, so...
So, Tulok approaches the door
Was.
and steals himself after taking quite a fucking bit of damage there.
Oh,
But
yeah.
he does really, really want to get this item back. He was super pumped about it. And so him losing it is not an option.
So was James / Azori, if I remember correctly, because it's RNG, fate, toying with fate kind of related stuff.
Yeah, she's got a bunch of fate stuff as a whose patron is fate. So
Yeah.
Tulok approaches the door, gestures his hands, is enveloped in purple light, and then goes invisible.
Oh, you're casting it yourself. All right. Invisible for how long? 1 minute?
1 minute. 10 minutes. 10 minutes.
10
It's
minutes?
1 minute
Oh,
when
okay.
it's heightened,
1
it's
minute.
10 minutes when it's not heightened.
Right. It becomes like kind of greater invisibility, right? All right. You're invisible. And you head back into the room towards the
He
creature.
is literally heading straight in there. You can't see this, the creature can't see this, but he is just shaking his hands because, I mean, he's just literally just walking straight at this creature that almost fucked up all three of them.
Yeah.
And he is just, each foot he's putting down just so delicately, foot
Okay.
after foot after foot, clenching his hands to keep them from shaking. If I have to say this, he's clearly avoiding notice.
is where he's also avoiding notice.
He is within 20 feet of the creature.
Okay.
Moves closer. Closer. And reaches down and picks up the item, standing right in front of this creature, holding his breath.
And it's just crouched down, holding onto this whip, like cradling it, almost, but not even looking at it, like a scared creature with its doll, like just pressed against its chest, and just like holding it for comfort, with this like wild look in its eyes, kind of staring down at the ground, hunched down on its haunches. And you pick this thing up, slip into your pocket, and then disappears from sight. And it doesn't seem to notice you.
Okay.
You step away.
I never said I stepped away.
Okay,
Oh.
all right.
Let's get that look
There's a
in
long
his
pause,
eye.
so I was waiting. If you don't let me know, I'm gonna start making decisions for you.
He steps away.
You piece of shit.
Nailed it.
Honestly, I was trying to decide if I wanted to cast Phantasmal Killer or something else equally as bad right in his face.
You step away, and with like as you turn on your heel, there's like you feel you're holding your breath. You feel a little bit escape, and you get a little jolt, and like you step a little bit too fast. You make a little scrape, and you see this creature shift. But then you right yourself, and you quietly put your feet back on the ground and focus, and you walk away scot-free.
Hey.
Scooty McBobcock.
Ayo! And then, still invisible, he turns to the north and opens a door.
The final double doors of this level that you have not explored. You crack that, and you're still invisible. This is great. And it leads to a 10-foot wide hallway that goes a little bit for a little stretch, but then opens up to like a larger hallway that seems to eke left and right. That's 15 feet wide.
So I assume Izori would have seen the door open as she is standing at the
Absolutely.
eastern door.
Threshold of the room, yeah.
And he continues north.
Okay. Izori will wave on Kruka and avoid notice as she makes her way through the room.
Kruka will wave back and follow.
And you take your time to be as quiet as possible. Zori, you are on point, totally rocking that stealth check, and so is Kruka following your lead. And you all make your way into this new area. Tulok, you sneak your way in invisible, and you see that it ends to the right. It ends pretty abruptly. There's some rubble on the ground, but there's nothing else there. Just some of the wall has fallen away. But you do see to the left, or to the west, 3 doors, 3 cells, in fact. They are barred doors. The bars are only a few inches apart, and each cell contains a heap of rotted flesh and shattered bone.
All right, Tulok heads west down this hall and is just inspecting to see what's in there.
Ooh.
Izori will draw her rapier.
And as he approaches the last cage, he will look in and roll a perception check.
Okay. You step in, and there's a whiff of like sort of rotted viscera that kind of ekes from each of these cells. So that doesn't permeate the whole area so much, but like as you get a little bit closer to the bars, you kind of look in, and you kind of take in the surroundings. You can smell this sort of acidic, rancid kind of odor. And Izori and Kruka, what are you up to?
Kruka would like to search the walls for hidden doors.
Certainly.
Clockwise, counterclockwise, starting from the southeast.
Okay. All right.
Thorough searching
Thorough searching.
with a smile.
And I forgot to say this, Tulok will be detecting magic now as well.
Okay. I'm glad you said that, because I came across something when researching some stat blocks for Encounter This, and there was a creature that had the ability to have detect magic on constantly, and that also was listed in the stat block under their senses. And I maybe reread the detect magic, and when it's like kind of heightened. And I'm sure, I know we've discussed it before. There was one room where we talked about it before, but I didn't really register it quite the way I did after I saw that, in that it effectively now when you use it really acts like an imprecise sense, which is really cool. So you could really you can roll that perception check to seek in on a specific area where magic might be, which is awesome. I know we've done it before. I just want to roll over that again.
I think that's actually next level.
It's at 4th level heightened, I believe. Are you 4th level heightened right now? Or is it at level 8 you'll get that?
I think it's level 8, yeah. We're only heightened 3rd, so it's the School of Magic, the range, and multiple effects.
Oh no, Tulok can cast 4th level spells.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
So it should be good, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it's half your level, rounded up, right? So half of 7 rounded up is 3 to 4. So yeah, should be good. Azori, you are doing what?
She is looking at, she's attempting the lock on the first door here.
Okay.
Just straight into it.
Cool. Roll me a thievery check.
That was Irish.
I assume you have thieves tools? You have thieves tools!
She does, yeah.
Duncan's shaking his head at me.
Okay. There's the aid. The aid is a 23. The actual check is a 16.
Yes. Yeah. Can you explain the aid to listeners from Sammy?
And me.
One of Sammy's abilities is called Partner in Crime. So it gains a reaction at the start of its turn to aid me on a deception or thievery check. It automatically exceeds the aid check with those skills, or automatically critically succeeds if you're a master on one of those.
So your cat is helping you pick this lock.
Yeah, pretty much.
Giving advice along the way.
Yeah, it can also help me roll society checks.
Jake, what have you done for me lately?
Yeah. Also bearing in mind that the cat is in tattoo form on Asori's body. And
Yeah, we never really
walking
talked
around
about
right now.
that you guys haven't actually seen the cat yet, except for when she was playing with it that one
So
night.
you're just we're just witnessing you listening to your own body tell you how to pick a lock.
Yeah, her forearm's just like...
Tulok shouts, or definitely shoots a glance over at Krucka.
Shrek is pretending to pay more attention to the wall than even was necessitated by the thorough searching. So,
Well, Asori gives the lock a try and doesn't quite nail it, I'm afraid. You kind of jangle at that lock and don't get the tumblers free. And that's when, with that little jangling noise, the heap of flesh inside starts to move and slither. And it moves towards the door and towards you. And we're going to roll for initiative.
it's trying to escape.
Please don't forget that I rolled a detect magic and a perception check that you never gave me any answers to before.
I
combat started.
I rolled a perception check. And it was abysmal.
Okay. What about my detect magic then, you SOB?
Yeah, you detect magic.
Where and what type?
You
can't just
detect
worm
it
away from my detect
coming
magic.
from. You detect it from any and all of these cells.
Is it coming from each little mound of flesh and bone?
You know it is.
Okay, thank you.
We'll say
I'll roll initiative.
the pile of viscera from on the map is pretty well done. So good job. Is that Narky?
Good job. Good job, Narky. I almost said Head Reaver, but he's responsible for Duffy.
You know what? Good job, Ed Reaver too. You're killing it, bud.
Please don't put any of these piles of flesh into my mouth, please.
Eat
No promises, Duffy.
the viscera, Duffy.
Oh no.
It's more uncomfortable every time. All right.
Okay, let's get some initiative. Let's go.
30. And don't forget, I'm invisible.
You are invisible.
25 in the visible spectrum of light. Suck it, burn.
All right. Sorry.
Initiative 25.
25. Okay. Top of the order. Tulok, you're first. What do you got? You're invisible, and you can see this creature eking. Can you see? You can kind of see it eking towards Azori from the other side of these cell doors.
Tulok would like to roll a recall knowledge on whatever this fucking thing is.
Okie dokie. That will be a sweet. Give me occultism or religion. I know
Occultism. Let's go. Ooh, natty 20, biatch.
Alrighty then. Natty 20. Let's see. This is, I'll tell you right at the gate, is a smaller version of the gargantuan thing you saw in the arena.
Ooh.
It is called a Shanragal. It is basically an amalgamation of warped flesh and shattered bone that's been discarded from flesh warping practices, but manages to gain some sort of sentience anyway. It's sort of just like this mindless mass of that tries to grab and bring more things into it and grow.
It's a Katamari. Okay.
It's like that Japanese game.
Katamari. Yes, kind of. It is resistant to piercing and slashing. It is weak to positive. Is immune to death effects, disease, paralyzed, poison, and unconscious. It can climb, swim, and crawl. And it wants to grab you and give you a squeeze.
Loving little blob.
Do I think it can make it through the door?
Absolutely.
And does it have any weaknesses?
Positive.
Wah, wah. Tulok turns to his companions and shouts from the abyss all this information as quickly as he can and lets them know that it is a small version of that other creature. Mm-hmm. And he will...
Oh, might as well show you the artwork real quick, too.
Well.
Yeah, give me some artwork. Num-nums.
It looks like it has like a baboon skull in it. I love it.
Yeah.
With horns.
So it's a proper amalgamation of all these, like, limbs and body parts, and there's like pieces of like like manacles inside from inside the cell. You see like a broken sword, maybe. Like it's just a big mess of who knows what, eyeballs and sinew and viscera.
They're so cute when they're babies.
There's a spine just casually hanging out of it.
Tulok is going to try to get ahead of it and is going to use telekinetic projectile to attack the one to his south in the third cage, sending a rock blistering at its dome.
Okay, from inside the cage, I presume.
Yes.
Go for it.
34 to hit.
That's a crit.
Nice.
Yeah, baby.
That's a big ol' hit.
That is going to be 42 points
Jesus.
of bludgeoning damage.
Bam, you smash a rock on this thing and like a big piece of it just goes flying off. There's a bit of gross liquid that spatters onto Azori's face through the bars.
Sorry. It was the one to my south because that's too far away. I couldn't cast.
You haven't seen one to your south yet. You've only seen the one move of the far right. There are piles, but you want to go for the one that's not moving?
The similar magical energy.
Yeah, I just double checking. You want to go for the one that's not moving?
Yes.
Okay.
You want to wake it up, is what you're asking.
Okay. You strike that pile, and sure enough, it wakes up. A big piece splurting off, not in Azori's face, apparently. Thanks for that. Lame. And next up is, in fact, that Shanragal heap, it's called. And it uses an ability called Undulating Step, in which it ignores all difficult terrain and squeezes through the bars as if it itself is a tiny creature, and comes out right next to you, Tulok, and uses its ability called Fleshy Slap.
I like that.
And I rolled a natural 1.
Heyo.
I know
For a total of a
exactly how that
17.
sounds.
Is that its OnlyFans username?
Fleshy slap.
Like if you drop a roll of quarters into a tub of mayonnaise, something like that.
Yum.
That's messed up.
Just a quick side note, Baron. I did not roll in the combat tracker, but I did get a 25, and it's not in there.
Oh, shoot. Okay. Good call. You got 25. Oh, that's actually puts you tied with Azori.
So rock, paper, scissors?
Do we have a tiebreaker built into our stat blocks, or do we
My dex is
check who's got
plus
the-
4. But no, I don't have the program stuff like I did with Gilda.
What's yours, Kruger?
Plus
Plus
three.
3. We'll say Azori
Okay.
goes first. That being said, it is Azori's turn.
First action, she will stride 10 feet back to the wall, incurring if that's a thing that happens.
You're all good.
Second 2 actions, she is going to mock finger guns, and this like gilded energy just starts to shudder in and out of existence as it erupts from her fingertips like Piccolo's special beam cannon
Yes.
as she casts Phase Bolt.
Oh, okay. What's Phase Bolt?
Ooh.
It is essentially magic missile as a cantrip that
Oh.
ignores covered, sort of.
Okay.
I like.
It doesn't auto hit, but she got a 34.
It's a crit.
Okay.
And it straight up ignores cover.
If there is cover, it's we reduced a bonus by 2.
Okay. I mean, I think it's just got for something like this. I think it's just lesser cover. Even standard cover, it wouldn't be greater at all. So I think you're good. It's just like through the bars of this thing. So that's pretty.
Yeah, I
sweet.
wasn't too worried about it going through the bars.
Yeah.
Just if it comes up in the future, I think that's a cool addition to this cantrip.
That's really cool.
And there's no critical here, so I'm just gonna roll the damage.
It should just be double damage, I would think. No.
Yeah, so that's 28.
Okay. 28. That's a solid hit. Nice.
Yeah, and I think it's force damage, but I'm not sure. I don't see it, but I'll look it up.
It's registered here as piercing damage. It says on success, you deal 1d4 piercing damage plus your spellcasting modifier. And of course, it's been heightened to increase that. So yeah,
Oh, okay.
it's a magical attack that is piercing, which is interesting. But it does resist some of that.
Yeah, I remember.
Still
I thought
a good
it was
hit, though.
Forced. That's why I went with it.
Yeah,
That's fine.
yeah. My gut was that too. So, but I was like, wait a second, why didn't it all go through? Foundry for the win. All right,
Love it.
Stride away, cast the attack. Kruka, what do you got?
Kraka, notable hater of heaps, flies into a rage and then takes a sudden charge westward 50 feet, gets him exactly next to Tulok, and you will strike with the butchering
Okay.
axe.
All right,
26 to hit.
that's a hit.
21 damage, 13 slashing, 8 fire.
Okay. All right. Some of that doesn't go through because of the slashing. You certainly know the fire does. That was 2 actions?
3 actions with the rage.
With the rage. Thank you. All right. Next up is the Shanragal heap that was next to Azori, which is going to itself undulating step through the bars and head towards Azori with a fleshy slap of a 22 to hit.
Miss.
Damn, not doing good here. And that's when, of course, another one pops out from the center cell. And is going to, let me just double check my movement here.
I wonder if these are oozes and if they have the same ability as they do in 5e, whereas if you kill them with slashing, they split in 2.
I don't know. Can you heap ooze?
This one is actually going to stride up and flank Tulok and go for a fleshy slap. Ooh, it's a 34 flanking.
Ooh.
That's a big roll.
It's a crit.
Okay. That is going to be 42 points of bludgeoning damage.
Jesus.
But that brings us to the top with Tulok again.
Yes. Sorry, I was just doing those a lot. I was doing math.
Yeah.
Okay.
Remember, these things want to grab us and probably absorb us, so maybe get out of dodge.
They haven't had the opportunity yet. But yeah, that is true.
Tulok will use 2 actions to move to the east towards the exit, and then with his last action will cast guidance on Kraka.
Okay, zipping around these things. They're not fast enough to attack with the open opportunity presented to them. And the first one that was attacking you is going to sidle up next to Kruka and roll an attack. 22 to hit,
Does not.
followed by a 13.
Seriously does not.
Not great. Yeah. Okay, and Izori, you're up.
Zori's going to spend her first 2 actions. You see her hand kind of ice over as she plunges it towards this ooze and casts Chill Touch with her first 2 actions.
Oh, I love a good touch spell.
That is a DC 25 basic fortitude.
Basic fortitude, DC 25. Okay. With the critical success, I'll tell you right now, this is my best save. 30.
30 is a success, which I believe, since it's a basic, is half damage.
Basic would be half damage, yeah. And you are targeting an undead creature, for the record.
Oh, okay. So you're just gonna take 7 negative.
Wait, hold on. Back up real quick. Living creature, you deal negative damage. Undead creature, the target becomes flat-footed. It does not take damage.
Oh, okay. So it's flat-footed then.
But it's on I succeeded, right? So it's on a failed fortitude save. I'm flat-footed. Critical fail and fleeing. I think I'm unaffected.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Chill Touch blows against undead.
Yeah.
Tulok used this against the corpse slice, I believe, a long time ago.
Right. Her next action will be to... Shit, what is her movement? 25? She'll stride.
Okay. So goes for the Chill Touch, probably thinking this thing's alive, actually. Whatever cursory knowledge, however detailed Tulok gave her, I was like, I'm gonna kill this bitch, and it's like not affected. You're like, oh shit, maybe it's not as alive as I thought. And you peel away. Kruka, you're up.
Kruka is going to look around, take stock of the situation, and realize he is on the wrong side of the room. Sudden charge backwards.
Sudden charge backwards.
Yeah.
I love the image of you just like hustling backwards.
Hustles in, takes a swing. It's like, oh shit. Hustles back like a fucking
You're like,
Benny Hill skit.
backwards, and like you don't realize that the one's behind you and it appears right next to you. You're like, oh! And you just like panic swing
Few
at it.
yakety sacks.
Yeah.
So sudden charge is back. He's gonna strike that to the east of the easternmost heap. Strike with the butchering axe for 22 to hit. 23 with the guidance.
That hits.
Nice.
33 damage. 8 fire.
Oh, big ol' hit. God, I forget how much.
25 slash.
A little bit resisted, but that's a solid hit, and that means guidance is gone.
Guidance is gone. Third action, Ring of the Ram, baby.
Oh, fuck yeah.
DC 22 fortitude save, please.
I love the ring of
For
the ram.
the one
Fortitude
next
save?
to me, yeah.
26.
Okay, so that is a success. You take 3 force damage and do not get pushed backwards.
Okay. Swing and a ram. Next up is that exact heap next to you. It is going to fleshy slap with a 34 to hit.
That is a crit.
Okay, that's 34 damage.
Okay.
And let's see here. When you are critically hit by the fleshy slap, you also take 1d6 bleed and are enfeebled 1.
Okay.
It is now going to use its next action to grab you.
Is it?
And then it is going to squeeze you. Roll me a fortitude save, please.
26.
26 is a success.
So that's a critical success with my Juggernaut. Suck it, burn.
Son of a bitch. Also, sorry, Foundry for the win. Oh, it just throws that out for you. Oh, I love this. I love this program. All right, it's literally called a sapping squeeze. You know, you can feel, you can sense this is about to get worse for you. What just happened, but you're able to resist it with your incredible fortitudinous.
Fortitudinousness. City.
Yeah.
I gotta hop in here and say I also was crit by one of these things. Was I not?
Oh shit, were you?
Yes.
Oh.
You did like 49 points of damage to me. Or 42.
That's true. All right, that's true. So you are also enfeebled and bleeding. Why don't you take 3 bleed damage and roll me a flat check retroactively real quick?
17 on the flat check.
Okay. So you're good on the bleed. You took a little extra 3 damage. You are enfeebled, but I think you're all right. That wasn't too bad.
No one can call me a cheater in year 2, you sons of bitches.
Give it time, buddy.
One of the heaps now is going to slide its way over towards Tulok, doing a double move to get there, and is going to fleshy slap with a 21.
That's a miss.
Okay, and it's your turn, Tulok.
All right, my turn, you say. Hey. Tulok is going to move 25 feet to the south, stepping into the room with the Velstrak.
Okay, just barely.
Cannot see it, but knows it's there. And will cast telekinetic projectile, sending a stone to the little flesh pile that just attacked him.
Okay.
32 to hit.
That's a crit.
For not so good, 30 points of bludgeoning damage.
Oh, that's still lots of damage. Great. Next up is the heap that's at the farthest away now. It is going to make its way forward, getting right up to Krucka with a double move and fleshy slap, 28 to hit.
It hits.
To be 14 bludgeoning.
Okay.
Oh yeah, you are grabbed, by the way. Let me just put that on you as well. Forgot about that. All right, Izori, what you got?
Izori, with her first action, is going to cast Nudge Fate on Krucka.
Okay.
So anytime they fail an attack roll, skill check, or saving throw, and a +1 bonus would change the outcome. So a critical failure to a failure to a success. We automatically grant them that +1 bonus retroactively.
Nice.
Okay. Very cool.
And then with her next 2 actions, she is going to follow Tulok's lead, pick up one of these stones, and telekinetic projectile at that guy there.
We've got 2 of them now.
Yep,
That's right.
The telekinetic
snap.
barrage.
that's a 17 to hit.
That's a miss, I'm afraid.
Okay.
Missouri still not under in-game. She's used to be on the deck of the ship, not below the earth, several hundred feet. Krucka, you're pretty much surrounded. What do you got?
Yeah, probably a quick little unarmed strike to get out of this.
Okay.
17, a quick little hero point to unarmed strike to get out of this. 34.
Okay. That will probably do it. This is against my, remind me, reflex, or no, it's my athletics DC, which is, okay, yeah, it's a success.
Okay. So I am free.
No longer grabbed.
Fuck, this sucks. They shamble a lot quicker than I was expecting for a heap.
Yeah. Doesn't your I know it's risky, but doesn't your butchering axe have it has the sweep ability, right? And you have 2 of them right next to you right now.
Yep, so I'll give it a shot.
You could take advantage of that.
Well, I mean, I also want to run away, though, so... We'll see how the first swing goes. He's going to take a swing at the southeast-most heap.
Okay.
Phew, 20 to hit.
It's a miss.
Okay, and he is going to take a stride 15 feet east to be next to Izori.
Okay. All right. Let's get you some 4. You got 4 bleed damage, and roll me a recovery check.
7.
Okay, still bleeding. The one that was immediately next to you is going to. It's going to stride forward towards you, chasing you down. Fleshy slap, 24 to hit.
Meet to beat.
That's 21 damage, and it's going to grab you with its last action.
Well, okay.
Hey, you're kind of back to square one here. The one that is the south is going to pursue Tulok and do the same pattern. 30 to hit.
That's a hit.
12 bludgeoning, and you are grabbed. And that brings us to you, Tulok.
This is getting spicy.
It is getting spicy.
Yeah, that's not good.
The party is almost separated. That's how spicy it is. I just love the idea that it's just like this weird, like gelatinous thing coming. It's slapping you and then like wrapping it around you like your forearm.
Yeah, it's like,
you're like, oh fuck.
you can imagine it's got like this sticky kind of substance all over that once it actually slaps you, it kind of just stays there and starts like oozing over
Yeah,
you.
yeah, like the mimics.
Yeah, exactly.
Like almost adhesive.
Tulok, all of a sudden, he's moving out of the room. He finds himself grabbed by this creature, and he is bleeding. He is in rough shape right now. And as a last-ditch attempt, he's trying to pull himself free, and he just kind of closes his eyes, and then he winks out of existence and appears again 120 feet down the southern corridor.
Okay.
As he casts Dimension Door.
Okay. Gone. You're going a full 120 feet?
Actually, I want to go 75.
So you can get to like the southern room where you fought the poltergeists, like all the way down there.
I'm going to go like, because honestly, I'm not going to survive another attack. So he's going to go as far as he thinks this thing won't be able to chase him.
Okay. Wow.
So that's, yeah, he went 75 feet.
Abandoned the party. But I have a funny feeling I know what Tulok's up to next. Anything else you got? That's 2 actions. Is it not?
Yes, that is 2 actions. Fuck it. He's just going to cast one singular magic missile.
I knew it.
Why not?
Why not? Why not?
5 points of damage to this little bastard.
Okay, 5 damage. There it is.
Is that a waste of a spell? I don't care.
The next heap, it's the Shangri-La heap's turn. It is going to. It's gonna march on up to Kruka and Izori here. I'll throw a fleshy slap at Izori. Why not? Oh, that's a natural 20.
Oh boy.
That's 40 damage. Bleeding and enfeebled. And then it grabs you. And so you're all in a sticky spot now. It is your turn, Izori.
Yeah, she'll just do 3 castings of magic missile on the one that's grabbing Kruka.
Okay. Roll me your first one.
4.
Okay.
4.
Yep.
3.
All right. Bam, bam, bam. Just pieces of like flesh and stuff flying off of it. They start to dwindle down to almost nothing, but it's still active. You take 1 persistent bleed and roll me a recovery check, please.
13. Failure.
No dice. Kruka, what do you got?
Kruka, not even gonna try to fight the grab and just start fucking swinging.
Yeah.
First one at the one grabbing him, a 30 to hit.
Yeah, baby.
That hits.
27 damage, 19 slashing.
Destroyed.
Fuck you, heap.
It falls apart in a flaming bloody mess.
Yep. Second one will be, he'll swing with a map -4 thanks to the sweep trait.
Heck yeah.
Nat 1.
Oh no. That's a miss.
And
Third action?
third action,
Oh yeah, you're no longer grabbed. You pull that way?
yeah. Can he unarmed strike to release Izori from the grab?
Sure, why not? But it's full map.
Full map, 15.
No dice. Okay, that's you. Next up is the heap that was chasing Tulok, but is now going to stride back towards the room. Doesn't quite get into the reach of anyone, but it's not going to go up to you, Kruka. Instead, it's going to launch a shard of bone from inside of itself at you. It's going to be a 31 to hit.
That hits.
That's 13 bludgeoning damage, followed by a second one that misses. Tulok, you're way south. What do you got? Besides the inverse of abandonment issues.
Self-preservation issues.
Tulok raises his
I hope
hands
your family.
and will fire out 3 magic missiles. That's 15 points of damage, you son
Okay.
of a bitch.
Bam, bam, bam. It's still up. Next up is the heap that's got Azori. And it is going to Sapping Squeeze. Roll me a fortitude, please.
21.
That is a success. You're going to take 4 bludgeoning as it squeezes you. You're already taking bleed, so I can't override that because it's not as much, but I'm going to do this 3 times to you. So go ahead and roll me 2 more.
26.
Okay, that's another 4.
17.
And that is an additional 10.
Ooh.
And it is your turn. Wow, these things are kicking your arses.
Yeah, at some point we're actually going to have to look at whether or not this party is possible, because this is the second fight in a row we've just been tuned up by that we have no reason to be. So maybe 2 spellcasters isn't the party makeup.
We shall see.
We'll see.
It's
We,
what
we
got.
might be down a spellcaster pretty damn quick.
I have a piece of advice for you after we finish this. But what do you got, Azori?
First action, she will strike out with the rapier at the one that's got her in its clutches. Is she grabbed? Is that what's happening here?
Yes, she is still grabbed.
That's a 21.
Sorry, Kaka, did I make you take bleed damage? I forgot to make you take bleed damage.
You did.
Yeah, 3 damage. Roll me a recovery.
Another 7.
No dice. Okay. Sorry, Azori, you did what? Attack.
Strike, yeah. 21 to hit.
21 misses.
She'll just cast telekinetic projectile for the last 2 actions. The same one.
Okay.
Bludgeoning, grabbing one of those
This
rocks.
does take a map. This does take a map.
Okay, that's a 28, 27.
Yeah, that'll hit.
15 points of bludgeoning.
And it's dead,
Thankfully.
releasing its grasp from you. And that brings us to you, Kruka. There's 1 left. It just shot a couple bone shards at you.
And he did not like that. Step up and swing, I guess.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Azori, you take 4 bleeding.
That's good. She can't hold on much longer. And
Okay.
she fails the recovery check with a 10.
Okay.
We're
Kruka,
having fun. 30 to hit.
that hits.
36 damage. 28 fire. Or 28 slash.
And it's dead.
Piece of...
Hey!
Creatures destroyed, and not without some fucking effort.
Welcome to the party, buddy.
I love it. You destroy these creatures, and they all just like slump to a disgusting mess. You can see just like a pile of shit, just like within them, like bones and like different limbs and like pieces of broken gear and whatnot, all kind of sticking out as they all kind of like slide out into something more flat and disgusting, into these pools of just plasma, I guess.
And treasure? Pools of treasure?
And there's treasure.
pools.
Oh, there's treasure. In fact, all 3 of them appear to be carrying a little something interesting. The one that just had Azori grabbed has a wand, but it's a bit unusual because it has the head of a dragon carved into the top of it. The one that Kruka was just standing on has a sling inside of its body. And the one that was chasing Tulok has a belt. All registering as magic.
Ooh. Tulok mechanically will run through the room with the Velstrak in it.
Sure. Yeah. You just peel through, keeping a sidelong glance in that direction.
Mechanically, as in like rigidly and...
Yeah, like Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
A lot of pumping arms.
Azori rolled a 27 to identify the unusual dragon head's wand.
27 is enough. This is, in fact, a wand of manifold missiles. It is the lowest version, but it's a very, very neat magic missile wand in that when you cast it, it casts magic missile at level 1. But however, For the next minute, at the start of each of your turns, it automatically casts a 1-action version of the spell. And you get to choose the target every time.
Wow.
Yep.
So it's like a magic missile Gatling gun, just once per turn.
Once per turn, at the start of your turn, it just launches one off at the target of your choice for 10 rounds.
Oh.
She'll toss that to Tulok. He's normally empty-handed as far as I can tell. Is that true?
I mean, yeah, but you don't want to roll off on it.
He's got a wand of magic missiles already, too, don't you?
No. Well, Scott Tulok does. The only reason I don't want to roll off on it is because if I carry that and my fearsome rapier, I can't cast spells.
Ah. Well.
Otherwise, I'd be happy to, but I'll take the regular wand of magic missiles. But having a wand in my hand for a minute is kind of it's a no bueno for this character build.
Yeah, I mean, you can always draw if you need to draw and cast and then drop and keep going, kind of thing. But
this isn't the kind of wand I think we should be dropping.
No, I mean the regular magic missile one.
Oh yeah, exactly my point. Yeah,
but it's still not it's not really fruitful with the action economy, but at least it's guaranteed damage, kind of thing. Right?
Yeah,
it's like
exactly.
Trade off.
Tulok approaches and says, "Thank you for this. Perhaps you could use my other magic missile wand. I do appreciate it, and I'm sure there will be some other types of treasure for you in the future here. There's much of it about."
She'll happily take the other wand and slide it up one of her sleeves.
Side note, Tulok, you have a wand of magic missile level 1 and 2.
Yeah, we just got the 2 now.
So you want to give the 2 to Azori?
Yeah.
All right, I have put that in her inventory, and I have given you the manifold.
Okay, and it took her 2 recovery checks to kill that bleed damage. Is she still enfeebled?
Okay. Yeah, let me just double check the enfeebled. I'm sure it lasts until critical success. You are enfeebled as long as you're bleeding. Yeah. So you took how many more? Did you take? Sorry.
It took 2 more checks to clear it.
Okay.
So I took 1 more 4 points of damage. I rolled a d6.
What's the DC on that?
Cool. It's a flat check of 15.
Oh, okay. So Kruka failed his first one, failed his second one.
Okay, but bear in mind, so take 1 damage, but you can administer first aid between rounds here and try and just knock it out, giving you a second option.
So
or
I'll fail that first one and then take a nature check, DC 15, got a 21, good to go.
Okay, you're probably good. Yeah, we can just hand wave that. Call it a good day. Bleeding and enfeebled are all gone from everyone. And you've got a couple more items here. What do you think? Belt and sling.
Tulok will take the belt and let Duffy have a little taste.
Oh, you got me an accessory. This is quite that's leather. That's lovely. It appears, Master Tulok, that this is a pretty standard item that covers all bases.
Tulok will roll occult on it.
Please do.
Sorry, my character sheet disappeared. Here we go. Natural 1, 17.
Nice.
Despite the fact that Duffy has claimed it to be leather, you're quite sure it's pleather.
That's just good for vegans. Ain't no one throwing red paint on this belt.
The long-term environmental side effects have yet to be studied.
Does anyone else want to give that a go with a higher DC?
Yeah, I'll give it a shot. Occultism. Yeah. It's a 29.
Hey.
That's fine. That's fine. It's a lifting belt. It grants a +1 item bonus to athletics checks and increases how much you can carry, making your bulk or carry bulk equal to 6 plus your strength modifier before becoming encumbered. You can also do a 2-action interact, which allows you to lift an object of 8 bulk as though it were weightless. And this requires 2 hands, and if the object is locked or otherwise held in place, you can attempt to force it open with an athletics check as part of the activation. The effect lasts until the end of your next turn.
Ooh, may have been great for the portcullis.
That would have been great for the portcullis. Good callback. Damn. You can have a hero point. Why not?
Hey, that episode also released today.
That was good. Oh, that's funny. Of course. But yeah, lifting belt. That's such a, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. It's got Krucker all over it.
I'll just strap that bad boy on. Oh, the lumbar support is fantastic.
Anyone going to fight him on that?
I'm thinking about
Yeah,
it.
it's like one of those movers belts.
Yeah, do you want it?
Yeah.
I could use the bonus to athletics. That's for sure.
Yeah. Have at it, bud.
No, you keep
You want
it,
to roll
it's
off?
fine.
Do a roll off.
Well, Kruk has already got
No,
a decent...
I'm okay.
Okay, well...
I've already got 7 invested items, and just to boost my athletics doesn't really feel worth it currently.
Yeah, I'm pretty proud of that lumbar line
3
anyways,
slots
and I
left.
don't want to edit that out, so...
Yeah. This makes an 8th item for Krucka. Actually,
Oh, invested? Yeah. While they're doing all this hocus
then you
pocus
have-
stuff, did he end up finding anything in the walls?
No, I'm afraid not. And then we have lastly a sling.
Duffy.
Sorry. Look, is that a jock strap? Don't give me that. I can tell from here that it's equal parts all around. Oh, get it away from me.
Duffy, you sick freak. It's just a sling.
Who knows what sort of balls have been in that sling? That's ridiculous.
And thinking that he can't roll any lower than he did last time, Tulok will roll an occultism on that.
Okay.
I'll roll to aid, and I got a 27 on the aid.
Okay.
Ooh, 25 plus 1 is 26.
And who said you were bad
Good.
at math?
This is a specific magic item known as a caterwaul sling. It's a +1 striking sling with a single white thread interwoven into its cord. Once per day, you can do a 2-action interact action that where you pull the white thread. You pull the white thread free, and then whirl the sling in circles at high speeds, and it lets out an ear-piercing wave of sound. Each creature in a 30-foot cone takes 4d6 sonic damage with a basic fortitude save. Any creature that fails is also deafened for 1 round or 1 hour on a critical failure.
That's pretty dope.
Mm.
Does anyone want it?
Take it, but I feel like Krucka has to come to reckoning with all the shit in his inventory right now before he does.
Yeah, I'll
There's a lot
take
going
it.
on.
I'm kind of torn about it because I'm almost 100% sure this was thrown in for Gilda, and it makes me real sad.
No.
I can honestly tell you it was not.
Okay.
If you spin it just right, you can
Yeah.
hear her dying screams.
Yeah. God.
Ouch.
Sarah,
Sonic and mental
sorry,
damage.
dude.
That's never not going to hurt.
Brutal. Holy shit. Well, you have yourself a sweet little treasure trophy, or the piece of advice I said I would give you afterward. It was keeping track of what you hit, because quite frankly, the last couple rounds of that combat, 2 of them were nearly dead, but you sort of didn't keep track of how hard you had hit what. So you just kept them all up instead of focusing fire, and that's what really fucked you in that combat. Just for the record. It's still tough with the 2 casters. You're not wrong, James, but that could have been a lot smoother had you focused your fire. But here I'm going to...
easy to mix up heaps.
That's true. It is easy to mix up heaps. It's almost a legitimate mistake, right? But you just got yourself a good little pile of treasure. And I just want to leave you with one quick thought before we finish. These creatures are the smaller versions of that giant heap in the arena. They were handleable. They were tough, but you know pretty much everything about them. And you could surmise that a lot of what they are applies to that arena creature, but probably just enhanced versions of the same thing. I will give you a pretty solid bonus to the next check you have for recall knowledge in that, but what I really want you to think about is what sort of treasure exists inside that creature if
You
what you
son
just
of
found
a
existed
bitch.
inside of these.
You son of a bitch.
And that's what we're going to call it.
Happy birthday to us, motherfuckers.
Happy 1 year or 2 years, listeners.
Suck it, Baron.
I can't believe you're still here. And suck it, Barn, still.
Stemming the Tide is an actual play podcast of the Adventure Path Abomination Vaults and is produced by the Uncharted North Network. Stemming the Tide uses trademarks and/or copyrights owned by Paizo Inc., used under Paizo's community use policy. We are expressly prohibited from charging you to use or access this content. Stemming the Tide is not published, endorsed, or specifically approved by Paizo. For more information about Paizo Inc. and Paizo products, visit paizo.com. Music is composed by Will Savino and artwork by Greyhood. Stemming the Tide is recorded remotely using Foundry Virtual Tabletop. If you wish to connect with us or support this project and projects to come, we can be found at unchartednorth.ca, patreon.com/unchartednorth, and on all major social media platforms. Links to all credits can be found in the episode description and our website. Thanks for tuning in.